Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Forgot Acid Darling. Thank you guys so much for clicking once again. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And to all my OGs, you know what to do. Comment down below. Let me know, gang. Another day, another update from one of our favorite triplets. Today, UK has a new update, and that's basically that the UK universities face bankruptcy as international student numbers from Nigeria and India decline. That's what the report is saying. Now, for those of you that do not know, I'm in Canada. And I always say this thing, I don't think a lot of people believe. But here, living here has shown me that most of our news is censored, heavily censored. We don't even get to see all the news. Now, this particular report what Instablog is carrying was from Nairametrics. I'm going to be posting what I see when I search the page. It is disappointing that in 2024, we are so censored to the point that we cannot see blogs like this. When you think that there's freedom of speech and people can, read up and form their own ideas, when this is not Iraq, when it's not Afghanistan, when it's not even Saudi Arabia, this is Canada. There are sometimes even our local Canadian news is heavily censored because they have a picture they want to paint or for whatever reason. Anyways, I wanted to go to the actual page to read up and let you guys know, but you can see we can't do that. So I'm going to be reading from Instablog. And it says UK universities face bankruptcy as international student numbers from Nigeria and India decline, according to the report. There are about 15 universities currently considering cutting jobs and courses this academic year in the UK. Nairametrics is reporting. According to the Times, many more have announced cost-saving plans that could lead to redundancies or courses being scrapped to save tens of millions. This particular part, of course, I support it because there are many courses that are just a waste of time and just a money haggling scheme. Many courses are just absolutely useless. The reason they formed some of these courses is to collect as much as they can from international students. So now seeing that these courses don't even make sense when you graduate, the degrees as worthless as tissue paper, they are now having to look within and see that they don't need to be paying teachers to continue to handle these courses when nobody wants the course. Do you understand? So yeah, they are beginning to see the light, I guess, however late. Anyway, so they said this may not be unconnected to the UK's government's recent introduction of the higher education reforms that will crack down on rip-off degrees, exactly, and ensure student visas are used for education rather than immigration, exactly, because when you start bringing up all these degrees that they can't use, they're just using it as a pathway to stay. As much as coming into the place for as a pathway to stay is good, I want a situation whereby if you're going to pay 20,000, 18,000 Canadian dollars or pounds to school, it should give you something you can use. You understand? It should give you something that has reputation. Do you get? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So it continues to say, also overseas students who are not taking research degrees are now barred from bringing their families. In addition, James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, suggested scrapping visas that allow students to work in Britain for 2 or 3 years after graduation. Currently, students face fewer teaching staff, low quality and fewer options as universities struggle to slash costs in response to a reduction in the number of wealthy international students. University leaders have therefore warned of really difficult cuts, such as discontinuing entire courses, laying off academic staff, as a loss of 1/3 of international students threatens to put several institutions into the red. Nairametrics reports that Nigeria's economic crisis have led to a collapse in applications, while Indian students are also being deterred as the government cracks down on visas. Universities say bankruptcy are a realistic possibility, with 1 in 10 already cutting staff this year. Tuition rates have effectively been unchanged for more than a decade, and with most colleges now losing money on domestic students, they have offset their losses with international students who pay significantly more. Over the last 4 years, numbers have increased 60%, reaching 560,000. Guys, let me know your thoughts. This is the same problem that Canada is facing, and this is the reason why they took the decisions they took. So most times when they act like these decisions they took, they didn't know, they didn't calculate, it's always very annoying. Anyways, one thing that these schools that people need to know about universities and schools is this is business to them. They are running a business. Now, for the publicly funded schools, if the government is not going to increase funding on education, they are going to rely on international students to be able to get profit, to be able to pay their teachers and keep the doors open. That is just, it's just the gospel truth. Now, for you to say, okay, we're going to be cutting down on this, cutting down on that, making sure that we don't get rip-off degrees, which is sounding fantastic, is sounding nice, but also we want a situation whereby you're also adding budgets for post-secondary education. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So, continuation, it says, however, early acceptance data predicts a 37% decrease in overseas recruits in the coming fiscal year. Data from Nigeria will be down 71% after a sevenfold increase in enrollment in 4 years saw the country overtake the entire EU with 33,000 students at British universities. The past 4 years, UK has just been hotspot for Nigerian students because people were going in droves with families and all of that. And this period, they are looking at things really slowing down, not just because, of course, pounds is really high, but with all these laws and the uncertainties, okay? One thing I've noticed now when they mention Nigeria being, of course, the most populous black nation and India being the most populous nation, we are third world countries. And if you look, most of these first world countries, according to them, quote unquote, they are relying heavily on third world countries. The monies from third world countries. Oh, rich international students. Oh, this. Some of them are not necessarily like super wealthy, but the monies that they made from their country, they are coming, they are paying school fees in full, coming to school in these countries. So I don't really understand. It means truly the third world countries are the ones ruling the world. Because if you have to rely on them to fund for your school, these are universities, these are reputable colleges that are facing bankruptcy. This is crazy. Guys, let me know your thoughts. So I went on to say John Rushforth, Executive Secretary of Community of University Chairs, said, I've been in higher education for 30 years and senior leaders are more worried than I've ever seen them. Bankruptcy is a realistic possibility for some institutions and universities are having to do really difficult things to shave that off. Taking fewer British students is a last resort, but if you're making a loss on something, people have to consider it. Everything has got to be looked at because the situation is so serious. Universities have to think hard about what they want to protect and make choices about divesting themselves of things that are not core to the institution. There will be less choice for students. A lot of institutions have introduced a lot of modules so that students can pick and choose. That's expensive, so it may be that you go back to the more generic courses. Fundamentally, either you have to increase your income or reduce quality or volume. Okay, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Went on to say Nairametrics reports that some universities are set to discontinue certain courses, noting that humanities, subjects, and languages are bearing the brunt of the cuts. So, art courses like humanities, languages, I'm studying dance, I'm studying paper mache, or so like any course that just doesn't make sense anymore or doesn't have like what would I put it, like work probability or value in terms of graduation. They are going to be scrapping those ones out because they want a situation whereby the courses that they are looking at and the ones that are open are the ones that are very solid, they have good teachers and they can defend it. Okay, so he went on to say Northumbria University is among those to have cited economic turmoil in Nigeria, whose currency has collapsed against the pound, for the need to make cuts in the face of a very sudden reduction of the number of students coming from the country. So it's like a lot of people were going to Northumbria. If you know anybody that has gone to this university, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So Rachel Hewitz, Chief Executive of Million Plus, the group for newer universities, said economic crisis in Nigeria presents difficulties for any university seeking to recruit from that country. The existing tuition fee model, coupled with high inflation, has seen their income fall on year, meaning institutions have to make difficult choices and do more with less. She also blamed ministers, saying it is possible to imagine the government going out of its way. It is impossible to imagine the government going out of its way to make Britain less inviting to investments in almost any other sector. And yet, every negative headline and policy reform that makes Britain less attractive to international students damages both the higher education sector and the UK, please. So these reports are just flooding in from UK. One thing that I've observed most recently is that people in the UK, some people are running out of time. Some people are running out of time. Some people have like severe visa issues. I don't know how your visas work, but one thing I need to let you know, this might not be for everybody. This might just be for one person. You're not a failure if you pack your things and leave and probably come back later. You're not a failure if you just come home to rest. Go back to Nigeria and just rest. Do a month, do 2 weeks. You're not a failure. You understand? Some people did work ashege to Nigeria. They are bombs. They don't even want. But see, please, that's why it's always good to live on a good note. You might just need that 1 week. You might seriously need just like, if you must, because people are burning lots of pounds, going through their savings, and they don't have jobs. They are not settled yet. They don't know how they don't know how the immigration pathways work. It is scary. At least in Canada, you know that, you need to enter Express Entry, you need to do IELTS, you need to stand here, you need to stand there. But for UK, I don't know. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So this is the update from Elizabeth's first of the triplets, which is the UK. For those of you that are heading there, or those of you that know people that are heading there, update them, share this video to them. Hope you enjoyed this video. I remain your girl, Asi Darling. Please check out my other videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.